Okay, my name is Mike Schenck, and I will be talking about the payroll, mostly payroll, year-end update, and including ACA. So not all of you have payroll, but bear with me here. This is the fun part, because if we didn't have payroll, none of you would be here, would you? Well, not everybody. Did you say it's not working? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So here's the agenda for today. So I will be talking about there's a couple of enhancements. I'm not going to talk about all of them for GP2016, just one for payroll. And then I'll be talking about the year-end update. And I'll be talking about the ACA changes this year. And then any questions, I'll open that up at the end. So first of all, there's only a couple of enhancements. The main one then is the enhanced payroll posting account setup. It kind of goes along the lines of what Dan was talking about with the budgets, where now there's a new navigation list that was added in GP2016. Now remember, this is for GP2016 only. So some of you, not all of you have GP2016, so only the ones that do are going to see this. So what you can do with the navigation list is you'll be able to view, sort, search, set up, edit their payroll posting accounts. And what that means is that you can actually export that out to Excel, for example, fill in the information, then import it back in. So if you have payroll, you know what I'm talking about. This can be a real pain because there are so many posting accounts that need to be set up for payroll. So this is a good enhancement for that. Also, as the last line says there, once you do import them back in, there will be an exception list that would print out if there were any issues. So it's a good check on that too. You can't just put junk in and have it go in. Okay, so the year-end update. Last year it was released in November. So at the end of November it was released on 11/20. We're hoping that they're even going to beat that this year. That actually was the earliest release I've known since I've been doing this, and I've been doing this for a long time. So on 11/20, I don't know if we can expect that, or I'm expecting it at least. So hopefully they'll at least get that, if not sooner. And what this is actually a full service pack. So, but it's mainly for everybody that has payroll, but it also affects anybody that does 1099s as well, if there are changes. Most of the time there is changes to the forms, which is the big part of the year-end update. So the forms, it depends on if the IRS changes the forms for 1099s or anything like that. But as far as as far as payroll goes, this will update all. This is a must. You must do this for payroll. And once this is released, it can be done anytime prior to your year-end process. So we suggest as soon as it is released, and we'll let you know that. We'll let you know when it is released. Michelle, we'll send something out to everybody, right? Once it is, okay. So we have everybody's information. Just the payroll customers, correct. So what will happen then is that once this is released, we should schedule something right away to go ahead and do the service pack, because it has to be done before year-end anyway, so we might as well do it right away, because then once year-end comes, then you're involved with W-2s and ACA if it's required. It is different than the payroll tax update. The payroll tax update it talks more about the different levels and the different dollar amounts and things like that for actual payroll tax. So that's different, and that's not as invasive as the year-end update, which is a full service pack, like I said. Okay. Okay, so the ACA changes for this year. First of all, it depends on if you even need to file ACA reporting. So if you are, so one of the questions is, are you self-insured? If you are, then you have to file ACA returns for everybody, regardless of how many employees you have. You could have, like I said, if you have just 2 employees and their dependents to participate, you have to file for all covered individuals, whether they're employees or dependents. So the first question is if you are self-insured. Secondly, if you're offering fully insured coverage or no coverage at all. either way, the employee count in the year is what determines whether or not you have to file the ACA reports or not. Last year, it was they gave you a grace period. It was over 100. This year, it's 50. If you have 50 or more, you must file the ACA returns. And then if you do have, and like I said, the threshold in 2015 was 100. So I know some of us, we talked to a lot of people last year that we were in between that, between 50 and 100, because it wasn't really published very well whether or not you had to file if you did have more than 50, but less than 100. So we kind of went ahead and did those if you were between 50 and 100. But this year you must.
Hey, Mike, are those
yes.
Active employees?
Full-time equivalents, yes, full-time equivalents. Correct.
What determines the count? Is it, you know, because you may only have 45 employees, but if you had 60 employees throughout the year, that's how many W-2s. Is it a W-2?
No, it's the full-time equivalent. So if you had two, there's a few different ways to determine that. If it gets down to that, I mean, we can help you with that, or your accounting firm would help you with that. But there's a couple of different ways. There's different types to determine whether or not they're a full-time employee or not. But I don't know if many people have, that kind of, a lot of part-time people, but we could help you with that. But it would really you should talk to your accounting people on that. Now, also, if you have over 250, so again, the filing requirement is 50 for paper, up to 250. If you have more than 250, you must file electronically. Also, if you are part of a commonly controlled or affiliated group, you must file electronically. So either one of these, Dynamics GP out of the box does not handle that. So there are third-party solutions that can that we suggest for that. One of them is Integrity Data. That's one of our partners that we work with, and they have a electronic filing module that goes along with that too. So again, over 250, you must file electronically. This is big. If you do not have ACA set up in GP right now and you think that you're required to file for 2016, contact us immediately, because there are a lot of setup changes, additions, things like that that need to be done. So are there many people in here that actually have payroll that are ACA? I don't think there are, but there might be online. So if that is the case, if you let's say, for example, you had between 50 and 100 and you did not file that last year and you did not set up ACA at all, like I said, please contact us immediately, because we need to get that ball rolling on that, because it does take some time to get that set up. And what you use for that is the human resources module, and then there's benefits and deductions, and then we synchronize it with payroll, things like that. So again, there's different things that we have to set up for filing for ACA.